Hello everybody, John here, and today I'm going to share with you how you can transform your life, yourself, and your world with just one breath. Okay, I'm John Patrick Muller. I used to be a Buddhist monk and professional counselor. Then I learned how to do online business, started many five-figure per month businesses, and helped many people to do the same. And so now I decided to just give back and to teach you the inner work secrets that I've been doing this whole time, right? Since I started in 2018, I started doing business. I've been teaching mostly marketing. I've been teaching mostly how other people can get more clients, raise their prices, make sales, build communities, create their offers, etc. But I haven't really been teaching the inner work part. I usually partner with people and then they teach the inner work part, and I've been just practicing in private my own stuff that works for me. But I decided to teach now the secrets, right? It's time that I just go all in and teach you what Buddhism for business means to me. And so here's what it is, basically. A lot of people who are beginners think that spiritual practice is like one slice of the pie of life, right? You know how life, you could divide it into like a pie graph. Here's my spirituality, my relationships, my work, my business, my hobbies, my athleticism, my diet, whatever, right? We can divide life into 8 quadrants or 12 quadrants and say, okay, here's what it is. And spirituality looks like it's one of them. But actually, that's not the right way. The right way is to think of the categories that are important to you, and then spirituality is the filling that makes them all sweet. Okay? Your spiritual practice is not a separate practice. It is something that you do in combination with all the other things that you do. So for example, if you decide to build a business, then you start asking, how can I apply my spiritual practice to my business? Or if you have a job, you think, how can I apply my spiritual practice to my job? If you have a relationship, you think, how can I apply my spiritual practice to my relationship? If you have fitness, how can I apply my spiritual practice to fitness? And so on. It is not a separate category. It is something that only is there to make your life better. And what it really does, spiritual practice isn't really done for the purpose of improving this one life. Your spiritual practice is mostly for improving your future lives. That's what real spiritual practice is for. Only beginners approach a practice to improve this one life. People who are actually spiritual are looking beyond this life. This life is a jumping off point. This life is a transition element, that it's a hallway that helps you to get to where you're really going, right? It's one of those, it's like a cannon, right? You're in a cannon. Don't try to make it comfortable. Why would you try to make a cannon comfortable? You're supposed to just pass through, okay? And so your spiritual practice improves your life, and it should improve all the things that you're doing in your life, including your business, right? It makes it more comfortable, it makes it work better, but also it helps you to get somewhere even better down the road. Okay, so that's what spiritual practice is really for. Spiritual practice is not an identity. It's not mala beads that you wear around your neck. It's not, like a rosary. Your spiritual practice isn't so that other people think you're cool or they let you into their private club. Your spiritual practice isn't so you have a reason for thinking that you're better than people. And your spiritual practice isn't an excuse that you can tell yourself so that you can continue being bad at everything else. And at least you have this one thing that's working for you, at least in the spiritual realm. I'm somebody. I'm sorry, but I've never related to spiritual practice this way. For me, spiritual practice is functional. It's practical. It does its job. It actually works. It doesn't just work in some faraway realm. Spiritual practice makes your life better. Spiritual practice makes everything better. Spiritual practice makes you better, and therefore you become more meaningful to people around you. Therefore, you actually become more popular. You'll become more sought after. You'll actually be more loved, right? Your spiritual practice shouldn't divide you from other people in your life. True spiritual practice will put you in to situations with other people where you can, for some time, we might have to disengage, and then we do a retreat, we do our work, but at some point we have to re-engage back with other people and you should be able to notice a practical difference in your life. People will like you more, you'll be more effective, you'll be happier, you'll be joyful, you'll be more free, things will work better, there'll be a little bit of magic. People will start asking you, oh my God, what are you doing? How are you so calm? How are you so peaceful? How are you so happy? And then you can share the secrets with them. Okay, so this is how spiritual practice actually works. Okay, so just to be clear about my opinion about that, and so I'm going to teach you now. I want to start an 11-week series. Okay, and I know this is on YouTube, which is cool, but I want to start an 11-week series so you can maybe follow along. And I'm going to teach you a practice that's called taking and giving in conjunction with the 6 perfections. Okay, very profound practice. This is the practice of a bodhisattva, and this actually gets us into Tantra. This leads us into becoming a tantric being, a tantric practitioner. Okay, so I'm going to give you the tools so that you can become a tantric bodhisattva, basically, and which also means you'll be happy, peaceful, free, joyful. You'll be all that too, but you'll be able to function better in society. You'll be able to help people. There's a phrase that they call being in the world, but not of it. So that's what spiritual practice will actually do for you. We become in the world, but not of it. We are a benefactor of the world. We become beneficial for other people in the world. But we are not of the world. We're not of the same substance, of the same nature as them. We are just passing through, but while we do pass through, we bring benefit to everybody. We're not looking to make a home in a hallway. We're not looking to make this world our life, right? To make a life in this world. We're not looking for that. We are just passing through from joy to joy, and we're giving to others, we're helping them, we're showing a supreme example, we're being patient, we're applying effort and energy towards the correct things, towards our practice. We learn focus, we learn wisdom, deep transcendental wisdom, and we learn Tantra, which is a quick method to purify yourself in the world. Okay, so in this 11-week series, I'm going to teach you everything. I'm going to give you a meditation tool to go along with everything. I'm going to give you some of it here, but for the sake of not boring you, I'm not going to do long meditations here, but I will film one. And so if you want, after every video, you can just click a link below and you'll be able to opt in and sort of get a free meditation that I'll give you that goes with this video. So this video, I'm going to give you like a teaching and I'll give you a little taste, but most people on YouTube just get too bored and I don't want to risk sort of like boring you guys and losing everybody. So if you want like a deeper meditation, just click, I'll give you a free one that I'll film as soon as I'm done filming each of these videos. Okay? And so if you do want the video, the meditation that goes with this, just click below and you can get it for free. And here we go. Let's jump into this 11-week series now with an introduction to what is taking and giving. So taking and giving is like the main substance of this series, basically. It's a special method that you can practice in conjunction with other things. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the Bodhisattva's path in the other videos, but in this one, I'm going to give you a secret practice. This practice was kept a secret for many, many hundreds of years, and finally was made public, a few thousand years ago. Well, maybe a thousand-ish years ago, it was made public, but for hundreds of years, it was practiced only in secret. It was practiced in secret, okay? This method can purify, it can heal. People have healed from extremely severe diseases such as leprosy, right, and cancer. You can heal. Practitioners have healed themselves from videos such as, from this practice called taking and giving, okay? And I'm gonna teach you how to do this in conjunction with the breath. Now there's a Tibetan name for this. I learned all these things in English. My tradition was English. So I learned this in English, but for you, maybe you've heard about this and you've heard the Tibetan name, which I can't remember right now. But anyway, it's called taking and giving, okay? And so what we do essentially is we do a breathing meditation where we breathe in and we breathe out, and usually you breathe in and out through your nostrils. And when you breathe in, you imagine that you take away the suffering from other people. and it just leaves them. It's like dark smoke, it leaves their bodies, and you just breathe it all in, actually, right? And this comes into your heart, and it destroys your own potential for negativity, for violence, for suffering. All the potentialities for negativity exist in your heart, actually. Your negative karma, the harm you've done to others in the past, and your negative attitudes, your potential to do other negative actions, all exist in your heart, okay? It's like seeds. And we take in the suffering of others and we take it into our heart and we imagine that it destroys our own negativity and that they're free from suffering and we're free from suffering. So that's called taking. And we do it with compassion, okay? So this practice of taking happens in conjunction with compassion. So we breathe in while meditating on a compassionate thought, may everyone be free from suffering. Okay, so I'll just let you practice this. Breathe in while thinking, may everyone be free from suffering. You can even imagine other people around you. You can imagine the whole world. Imagine all the beings and all the universes in the world. And closest to you are your friends and family and other people whom you know personally in this life. You can feel their presence all around you. And when you breathe in, just think, may everyone be free from suffering. And your heart will feel compassion. You'll feel like a desire to free them, a desire for them to be free. This is compassion, right? So we can just start there. May everyone be free from suffering. Repeat this to yourself. May everyone be free from suffering. May everyone be free from suffering. May everyone be free from suffering. You don't have to say it out loud. Just say it in your heart. May everyone be free from suffering. And when you breathe in, just imagine that you take this suffering away from them. Breathe in with this compassion and imagine that you take their suffering away. May everyone be free from suffering when you breathe in. May everyone be free from suffering when you breathe in. Okay, so while combining compassion in your breath, just imagine that the suffering of others leaves them, okay, in the form of dark smoke. And that you actually breathe this into your own heart, where it destroys all your negativity. Now, remember that you're just imagining this. This is not actually happening. You're imagining it. Later, when we become very advanced, we can actually do this. You can actually take away the suffering of others. And you can actually destroy your own negativity just by breathing and imagining and believing, okay? But for now, we're imagining it. It creates the basis. It creates the basis for it to happen. Imagining it creates like the channel, and then when you learn to focus a little bit better, it actually it can happen through your faith, okay, and your focus, okay? And so don't worry about it happening. This won't cause any suffering. In fact, this will heal you. All the negativity in the world can be healed like this through this practice, okay? And so allow yourself to breathe in other people's suffering with compassion. May everyone be free from suffering. And imagine the suffering enters your heart and destroys all your negativity. And that they're happy and free, and you're happy and free. Okay, so this is called the practice of taking. This is taking. Taking by means of compassion. Okay, the next practice is called giving. Okay, and giving is where we imagine that we already have enlightenment. Our future enlightenment comes into our heart, right? Your future enlightenment becomes like a sun that's in your own heart, okay? You will attain enlightenment. Everybody attains enlightenment. Enlightenment is the state of fulfilling our highest potential. Everybody becomes enlightened at some point. Okay, this is Buddhism. This is what Buddhism believes, that we all have the potential to become enlightened, and we all do eventually finally become enlightened. We all do. And many, many people have, countless people already have, and countless people will. And there are enlightened beings among you, among us. Every day you meet enlightened people. Okay, but you don't recognize it because we only see what our own mind projects. If we have an ordinary mind, we see ordinary beings. And if we have an extraordinary mind, we see extraordinary beings. If we have a pure mind, we see pure beings. If we have an impure mind, we see impure beings. When we're angry, we see enemies. When we're loving, we see friends, right? This is how it goes. You know that when you have a certain mind of love and affection, everyone looks like family. And when you have a certain mind of hatred and you're annoyed, even family look like enemies. Everybody looks like strangers, okay? So this is because our own mind creates our world, and we only see what our mind projects. So if you want to see enlightened beings, you have to start imagining them and believing that they're there. And you also have to start purifying your mind. And this practice is practice. We're getting practice at purifying our mind. This is what we're doing right now, is we purify ourselves. And part of purification is just seeing things the way they actually are and believing in them as if they are the way they actually are. And our mind gets purified just through that. Imagination and belief are the two tools of Tantra. Tantra functions using imagination and belief. A lot of people think that Tantra is about energy. Tantra is about sex. Tantra is about pleasure. Well, aspects of Tantra are about pleasure and definitely about energy, aspects of Tantra. And sex even can play a component, although it's not sex as we think of it these days. It's more like linking of central channels. It's not really sex. You're not doing it for pleasure, because the bliss that you get on the inside is far superior than sexual bliss. But those are aspects of Tantra. There's another aspect of Tantra that is a prerequisite to all those things. Those things are the second stage of Tantra. The first stage of Tantra is where you use your imagination and belief to create an enlightened world now. So whatever it is that you want in life, just imagine and believe that you already have it and that you are that. And in Buddhism, we apply this to enlightenment. So we think, well, I have the potential to become enlightened. I will become enlightened. And so I can just imagine that I already am, and then I'll quickly become it. So that's how Tantra works, is you quickly become what you imagine and believe that you already are. It actually works, okay? But obviously this is just general. Tantra has very specific ways of applying it, and there's specific empowerments and specific deities. I can't go into that. I'm not going to go into that. You need to consult a Buddhist teacher if you want Buddhist empowerments and, to practice real Tantra. I'm just teaching you about the technology of Tantra right now. I'm not going to give you a tantric empowerment today. Maybe you'll get one through this video. Who knows? I've received many, right? I've been qualified to give them. But that's not what we're doing today. I'm just teaching you how Tantra works. It's using imagination and belief to create the enlightened and pure world that you want it to be, and an enlightened pure self that you are, right? You just imagine and believe that you already are, and then you become it. So here, this is like an intro to Tantra, because we don't have to believe we're an enlightened being. We don't have to imagine our body or anything. We just imagine enlightenment. It looks like a little sun or like a little jewel in our heart. Okay, I'd like to use a sun. Okay, and we imagine that from the sun emanates light, and the light gives to others, and when it touches them, they become enlightened too. Okay, so this is the practice of giving. According to Taking and Giving, this is how you practice giving, is you imagine you're already enlightened at your heart, and this emanates, touches others, and makes them enlightened, and along the way, it gives them temporary things too. It can give them the PlayStation if they want a PlayStation, it gives them a partner if they want a partner, it gives them a house if they want a house, it gives them a car if they want a car, a vacation if they want a vacation, or $1 million if that's what they want. It gives them all that, but then through experiencing it, they actually become fully enlightened, which is what people really want, actually. People don't think they want it, they don't know about it, but it's the only way to be happy all the time. It's the only way to be happy in future lives. Things don't make us happy. Temporary material items, they're temporary and they don't give real happiness. They don't give any real happiness, right? You can't really get happy just through receiving or having a material item. The experience of pleasure is very short-lived, and it wasn't like a deep bliss. It wasn't like full relief. It was just a temporary relief, right? You had a state of lack, and then this object fulfilled the lack, and then you experienced the relief of the lack as happiness and freedom, but it's really not true happiness. It is just a relief of lack that is different. True happiness is on a different spectrum, actually. And true happiness is made of positive emotions on the inside. True happiness comes from having positive emotions on the inside. And the highest positive emotion on the inside is called enlightenment, right? It's the state where your happiness is dialed up, not just to 10, not just to 1,000, not just to 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000, but just like a billion billion. Like the highest you can imagine, enlightenment is way better than that, right? And so you're giving people that because in their heart of hearts, they're looking for true enlightenment, actually, and not just temporary relief from particular sufferings. Okay? And so that is what we do from our heart. Bling, it goes out, touches everybody, they receive what they're looking for, and they receive enlightenment too. They're happy all the time, and you're connected to your own enlightenment, so you're happy all the time too, and you're both in the state of happy all the time. So that's giving. Now, giving in conjunction with your breath means you do it as you breathe out. So every time you breathe out, you can imagine light goes out and touches everybody, gives them everything. They become enlightened, you're enlightened too, and we're all happy. And you just use your imagination and belief to create this new world where you're all happy. You know, you're all enlightened. And then you hold that with your meditation, with your mindfulness. You meditate on the state where everybody's happy all the time. And that's how you do taking. That's how you do giving. So let's practice this real quick. Imagine that your future enlightenment enters into your heart and that it's like a sun, and that the sun emanates light, and you imagine that it leaves your body through your breath every time that you breathe out, and you give happiness and enlightenment to others. And you can even meditate on the wish, may everyone be happy. May everyone be happy. May everyone be happy. So this belief, this wish articulates love. May everyone be happy. May everyone experience the true happiness of enlightenment. This is called wishing love, and it's one of the most beautiful meditations within Buddhism. May everyone be happy. May everyone experience the deep and lasting happiness, the supreme bliss of enlightenment. May everyone experience the deep, lasting, and supreme bliss and happiness of enlightenment. May everyone be happy all the time. So this wish is beautiful, and you can imagine that from here, you have the heart of your future enlightenment at your heart. You imagine that as you breathe out, light rays radiate, and they touch everybody and gives them happiness and enlightenment. So you can breathe out and think, may everyone be happy every time that you breathe out. Okay, so you are breathing out and thinking, may everyone be happy. when you breathe out, and you imagine that as you do, the enlightenment sun in your heart emanates light, leaves through your nostrils, and gives them, your family and friends around you, and everybody else in this world, everybody in all universes who are around you right now. The light rays radiate and they give everybody what they're looking for, and they give them deep and lasting happiness as well. Okay, so this is the practice of giving. And if you're looking for a meditation on taking and giving, I'll film a quick one right now. All you have to do is click opt in and I'll give it to you for free. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like, heart, comment, subscribe, send to a friend, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.